So yeah, this is a video I've done in one way or another a few times. You know me, Kate's recently done a kind of version of this video, kind of popular fragrances we hate. And it's not any kind of besmirching of them. These perfumes are made by people, apparently. I mean, it could be made by AI now, let's face it. But generally speaking, they're made by people and people enjoy them out there. It's all subjective, isn't it? But there are certain fragrances, let's face it, that we just don't get, despite the hype, despite everybody loving them, despite them being really popular. They're just not for us. And it's a bit, you know, it's a bit of fun, isn't it, really? It's not like, it's just smelly water, isn't it? We don't take it too seriously. Like I say, it's no disrespect to the people who've made them, or if you love it, then you love it, don't you? That's you know, we all have our personal choices and tastes, and people hate a lot of the fragrances I love, so, and I don't get all offended and, you know, become a keyboard warrior over it or what have you. So yeah, it's just oh dear. Right, we'll get into the video. So first up is it's predictable. It's not going to be an overly long video. I don't need to go into detail about them. This is one I've mentioned many times, and there's lots of reasons why I detest this fragrance. It isn't spoken about too much nowadays, actually, which is interesting, isn't it? It's Initio Oud for Greatness. Now, the name is kind of, it's just a whole kind of ironic thing, isn't it? Is there oud? Is it great? You know, let's leave it at that. But this was hyped to all hell. This was when Initio kind of started to grow and be noticed, i.e. lots of PR out there, and this was hyped to hell. It is, I suppose, for people who like this sort of thing, a very, very strong fragrance that lasts forever and ever and ever and ever. That's kind of, I suppose, what people loved about it. Now the smell of it, Jesus, it's kind of this sticky, it smells a bit like toilet duck, like a lavender flavoured one, but even the lavender doesn't smell particularly natural. It's a very, I mean, there's nothing wrong with synthetic, again, it's just the way it's done. But I suppose what it is with it, it's just very loud and lasts forevermore. So that's kind of its shtick. That's probably why people thought it was worth, is it 250, 300? It was pushy, it's very expensive anyway. And the fact it's very expensive makes me dislike this one even more, because, yeah, subjectively, just no. So that's Initio Oud for Greatness. Next up, I'm very in a minority here. It's one of the most popular fragrances within the fragrance community for a long time. Whether it is in reality or not is probably not. Although this brand always seems to be popular within our kind of community. But in real life, I ain't met anyone who's ever heard of them. But, you know, maybe I live in a small circle of people who don't, you know, get so much into fragrances. But anyway, Perfumes de Delina. Now, yes, I know people love it. People have wore it for their weddings. People, you know, still bang on about it. It's obviously popular for a reason, and people love it. To me, it kind of typifies Perfumes de Barley. To me, anyway. I mean, it's got it's rhubarb, is it? I think it's this very sharpness with this kind of rosy, peony shampoo. It's like shampoo with this bitter stuff going through it. And again, there's no disrespect to synthetic. That's going to be a word that probably comes up a lot, but there's no disrespect to it. You can have really good synthetic based perfumes, but this one gives me a bombing headache, and it's choking, and it's quite awful. So yeah, it's this kind of bitter shampoo, to me, and that's just not my jam. I like rose sometimes. Occasionally I'll like a peony one, or peony. I don't know why I'm speaking in that weird way. And rhubarb, yeah, it's not my jam. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I love bluebells. People loving stuff, is there? And like I say, each to their own, but for me, this one just isn't for me. And again, the price tag on it, no. So yeah, that's Delina from Perfumes de Bali. Next is one, again, I actually respect this one. Although what it started off, it was a living nightmare. It's Dior Sauvage. We'll obviously go for the original here. Again, super duper strong, massive fragrance, and it's kind of this out of the shower one. There's a couple of these in here. You know, it smells fresh and clean. That blue kind of shower jelly smell about it. It's by no means not awful. However, what kind of started off a big trend in that is this one is very heavily ambroxan laden. Now ambroxan, nothing wrong with it. It's been used for many years, many decades. But the ambroxan was kind of one of the main notes. And it's kind of this metallic, sharp, peppery ambroxan, which really makes my brain melt. Again, it's a personal thing. It kind of goes up your nose and makes the front of your head ache, and it chokes me, and I find it thoroughly unpleasant. It's not to say it is, you know. To some people, it's very popular. I've not met anyone who doesn't like it in real life, actually. Just for me, it's too much. And like I say, it kicked off that kind of, oh, we could use ambroxan, this kind of cheaper note. Not cheap, but cheaper note. The entire basis of a perfume, because it really pushes it out. Let's stop the creativity and just make loads of Sauvage type things. So yeah, for many reasons I thoroughly dislike this one. But like I say again, I actually respect it. It was the first of its kind, really, with the ambroxan side of stuff. The shower gel thing had been about a bit, and now they're certainly milking it with 43,000 flankers to it. But yeah, that's a Dior Sauvage. Next is a Chanel Bleu de Chanel. This is always a bugbear with me. I like Chanel. I like many of them, and they're good. They don't make particularly, generally speaking, you know, in the normal ranges. They're fairly safe. You know a Chanel when you smell it. They've got a certain DNA, a certain pattern they all kind of follow, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're very good, very classy, very elegant. The problem with Bleu de Chanel, which goes with the male marketed range full stop, is it's tedious. It just really is the most generic of generics you can get. Bleu de Chanel, what does it smell like? Shower gel, you know, a bit of citrus, it's aromatic, and it all comes together to make this kind of blue thing we've all smelled. I mean, even before this, you know, we've all smelled Lynx shower gel and stuff. There you go. And it's just boring. And whatever iteration they bring out with it, you know, there's the eau de parfum, there's the parfum, which is a little bit resinous and doesn't add any excitement to it to me. It's just straight up nothing. Just lather lots of shower gel on you, and you don't have to pay 100 odd quid for it. It's just boring and uninspiring. Everyone smelt this or some sort of iteration of it, and yeah, again, each to their own. I understand, obviously that's one of the reasons it is so popular, because it's just generic, safe, easy. Everyone's just going, oh, we smell fresh and clean. It's fair dues, but you don't need a perfume for that, do you? But there you go. Bleu de Chanel, from the very uninspired, tedious, boring male marketed range. you know, the other ones, Allure on Sport and what have you, are just as tedious. But yeah, anyway, Bleu de Chanel. Next up is Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Now, again, it's a personal thing. I don't mind the smell of this actually. Smelling it on other people isn't too bad. However, for me, it's just too much. It's too strong. It's too big. It's too choking. This is again. We were talking about synthetics, and I seem to have a really negative impression of them. This is synthetics done well. It's very well made, and it chokes me out. Probably not because of what's in it, but because it's just too big and dense for me. It's not necessarily the materials I use personally. I can only speak about myself, and it's one of them again. Like, it's just been copied about a billion times. It's everywhere, this DNA. I didn't mind, weirdly, Ariana Grande's Cloud was kind of followed this a bit, but it had a bit more of a kind of fluffy edge, which made it more wearable for me. So yeah, I mean, we all know it's a kind of this dense, kind of sticky saffron in these big dense florals. There's probably an awful lot of them kind of modern molecular, of course there is in there. Again, it's nice smelling it on someone from a distance. For me, it's just a no. So again, no disrespect to the fragrance, it's popular for a reason, isn't it? That's Baccarat Rouge 540 from MFK. Next is from a brand I used to love, but then they got took over, and yeah, that's Kilian's Angel Share Paradis. There's many reasons why I thoroughly dislike this. So yeah, first of all, it's a flanker, a very successful fragrance, so we're used to this nowadays. They get rinsed. If something's successful, it'll have a billion flankers. Angel Share, I still like, it's still good. This one, it's got a bit of raspberry in it. I think it's raspberry, raspberry, which you do notice in the beginning, but then what it smells like to me is a really cheap knockoff of Angel Share, like a bad knockoff, a bad clone. It's got all the elements of Angel Share still in it, but it's really, really synthetic smelling. It's choking. It makes me feel like I want to vomit, and it's dense. There's obviously a lot of cashmere and stuff in it, and it's just really horrible. Like I say, I like Angel Share, and I found after trying this one, it ruined Angel Share a little bit for me, because it's got that similar, but yeah, such a kind of synthetically harsh version of it. And again, this was hyped for a little bit, then it's kind of disappeared now. There's probably another flanker to Angel Share out by now. There's been loads, when you consider that fragrance is 4 or 5 years old or something. But whatever, we know what Estee Lauder are like. Ka-ching! So yeah, I'm not going to waffle on. It's Angel Share's Paradis. It just ain't for me. Like a bad knockoff version of the original, with a little touch of raspberry niceness in the beginning. Next, this was a super mega hyped one, and I understand why we're all excited about this actually. It's Amouage Interlude Black Iris. Now, Amouage has a mega following, you know. Back in the day, we all loved Amouage, and it's one of these, you know, it's a proper niche house. Creativity was off the scale. Everyone loved it. We were excited about what was going to come out, interested. They weren't all going to be for you. That's an important thing to point out. It's not one of them houses. They're not going to release popular banger after popular banger. There'll be interesting ones that certain people love. I don't love them all, but anyway, it was, you know, the dawn of a new era. The new creative director came in, we were all excited. And then his first release was a flanker. Them alarm bells should have been ringing then. Should have been like, okay, it's a flanker of a legend. Interlude Man is exceptionally popular. It's one of them we'd all associate with Amouage. When you think of Amouage, Interlude Man will probably first one comes to your mind. And then it was obviously PR'd, which was kind of new for Amouage to a point. It was sent out to a lot of people, and we're all listening to the reviews and stuff of it. I was excited. One of these influencers, who's apparently got a great nose and anyway, said it smelled a bit like Dior Homme mixed with Interlude Man, and the herbiness was kind of toned down, because a lot of people, this is the problem, Interlude Man is beautiful, but there's this kind of burning oregano or oregano, and that's very hard. It's very unusual. I like the burning smoulderiness of it, full stop. I love it's a Popanax and myrrh, isn't it? So that kind of sweet, dark, black resinousness. It's very lovely. But yeah, it's the oregano. But yeah, anyway, these people say, oh, it's all toned down. It's completely different. It's a new fragrance. It's this wow. And then obviously tried it. First of all, I was disappointed with the fact there is a little touch of orris in there, iris orris, in the beginning, and it kind of smooths it out. I find the burning oregano stronger in it, I'm not going to lie. And the iris orris kind of fades a bit quite soon. Not that it makes it much difference. And then you do kind of fall more into what Interlude Man was, which I suppose is a flanker, to be fair. I'm not going to criticise it for that. So it's kind of, yeah, Interlude Man with a little touch of the iris orris going through it. It wears slightly different. I'm not going to say it's a like for like, but the similarities are there. And yeah, that burning herb feel was still there. And this is where this is the first release from the new creative director. Okay. So yeah, and to be fair, after all said and done, yeah, he certainly set his mark, and he told us what to expect, and ultimately in the end, yeah, with all these now extrait versions, which are basically the same fragrance, with a ridiculous level of parfum, that are ridiculously expensive. So yeah, that's where we went with Amouage, and I think that's why I hate this one. One, because I'm not a big fan of the original, although you respect it. The PR hype was probably read off a sheet if people truly get what they allegedly said they got. And it was kind of the kind of beginning of Amouage falling into mediocrity and what it is now. So yeah, many reasons why I dislike it. So that's Amouage Black Iris. Next, this is one of the sad ones again. Now, all of us of a certain age, Mugler was like an Amouage of the designer world, if you like. It was extremely creative. It made extremely interesting fragrances. There was nothing quite like it. They had, a lot of brand new things. And Angel and Alien were the two kind of standout ones. And I was kind of more an Alien person. But anyway, there's been a lot of flankers. Mugler did it. The people who had Mugler after it did it. And now L'Oreal are doing it in a slightly different way. I mean, the originals don't smell like the originals, i.e. Mugler Alien doesn't smell like Alien anymore, really. But then they brought out this new line, Alien Goddess. Now the thing about the Goddess ones, I'm going to go for the original, is they don't smell anything like. They've got nothing to do with Alien. Let me just put it that way. in more recent times with a 53 at third flank or whatever that's come out, they've stuck bits of the original DNA in it now. This was kind of this sickly, caramelly, vanilla-y horribleness. I can't put it any other way. It's like vanilla caramel vomit. That's very synthetic. Obviously, again, the original Alien had cashmere in it, used in a delicate, interesting way. This is just shoved in to choke us with it, to make it big and what have you. And I suppose what makes me most sad about it is what's it got to do with Alien? It was because I suppose he wanted to bring something out, because of the way it was marketed, to a new youthful audience. Fair dues. Why can't they have a goddess line? Why does it have to be Alien? I think, you know, I'm not the first person or the last person to ever say that. Why didn't you just make it goddess? And then I could just slag off the goddess line because it's dreadful. To me, personally. I know people, again, who absolutely love them. Each to their own. Just sad, yeah. So that's a Mugler Alien Goddess. Next is I've got to go for an Angel flanker. Now, Angel is more of a personal kind of struggle with it. Oh, the Angel smells bad at all. It's not a bad one, is it? But then, obviously, flankers. There's many flankers. Similar with Alien. This one came along, Nova. Angel Nova. Wow. Is it raspberry, cherry, something like that? It's kind of red fruit. But it's like a melted red fruit, boiled sweet. Had more sugar added. Oh, there's a pig there. Had more sugar added. Had loads of synthetic kind of stuff put in it. It smells nothing like nature whatsoever. It's very loud, it's very scratchy, it's very choky. It doesn't really have anything to do with Angel. Again, people love this one. And I get it, because these big, sweet, bold ones, fair dues. But to me, it was just like, why? So yeah, I'm not going to waffle on. I think we all know I don't like Nova. So that's Angel Nova from Mugler. And last, I put it in a little tiny section, because why not? And it's Middle Eastern, inverted commas, fragrances. This kind of, you know, the Armafs and the Latafas, and they've exploded onto the scene. They existed when I first started doing this, but now they're really popular. They are more affordable, yes. And I'm just generically talking about them. I'm sure there's one or two. I've not tried them all, but the ones I have tried, they all have a similar theme. And I think we all know this. Whatever we hear from influencers who get paid to push this stuff, they're not finished for a start. You're supposed to leave them in a darkened cupboard or bury them under the ground for 6 to 8 months, sprinkle with holy water, plant a pineapple tree, do some pagan dancing, you know, pray to the gods, dig it up in a certain anti-clockwise way with only 3 digs. And it comes out and it smells completely different. It smells perfect. It smells like the greatest fragrance you've ever smelled ever, because you've left it after you've bought it or whatever. Yeah, we understand these are rushed out, pumped out, I believe is the fragrance term we'd use. And they all kind of, you know when someone's wearing them in the street now, it's that kind of synthetic saffrony oody smell, and that's what you can smell it from a mile away, like a melting plaster, with something else round it, some very sweet generic fruits or whatever. They tend to do homage, let's say, to popular fragrances that exist. Yeah, and they are affordable for a reason, if you like. The fact they're called Middle Eastern I always find interesting. They're made there, perhaps, and but they're marketed to us in the West. I'd say I can't imagine someone in Oman or Saudi Arabia going crazy for Latafa. I would suspect they're much more likely, I mean I'm just guessing, to have gone for Amouage or something else that we'd know, or you know, a local brand, but whatever. Yeah, just generic Middle Eastern fragrances that are just dreadful. I mean, I may find some that I like one day. Like I say, I haven't tried them all. Every single one you try, I mean, if you weren't to tell me what it is, I would guess that it's not a popular designer brand or a popular niche brand. I think you can certainly tell the difference. And from my experience, it doesn't matter how long you leave these fragrances alone, they smell just as bad 6 months, a year later, whatever. To me personally, it's my own personal subjective view, which I'm allowed, free speech and all that jazz. So yeah, that's it, the end of this video, I promise. So yeah, that's the end. I got a little bit ranty, didn't I, as you'd expect. Yeah, it's all subjective. Some of us love stuff, some of us don't love stuff, and we have different tastes. We enjoy different things, things wear differently on us, different experiences, so there's no right or wrong, good or bad. These are just ones I personally can't stand. So what about yourself? What popular or what have you fragrances do you struggle with? What do you thoroughly dislike? Do you love any of the fragrances I've mentioned? I'm sure plenty of you do. Alright folks, thanks, bye.